Greetings of the day to all. I am Shikha Kansal and we will be talking about methods to find out coefficient of correlation, that is Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. In this PowerPoint presentation, we will be dealing only with one of the method, that is Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. We will be dealing it in detail. So, what is Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation? As we have already told that Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation is named after its inventor, that is Karl Pearson. So, moving ahead, what are the different formulas by which we can find out the correlation between two variables, and one of the major benefit of finding out the correlation or the relation between two variables by the help of Karl-Pearson's coefficient is we can exactly find out the degree of correlation between the two variables. In the earlier two methods, that was graphical method and plot method, scatter plotting method, we were not able to find out the exact degree of correlation between the two variables, but this limitation is overcome here by the help of Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation, where we can find out what is the degree of relationship or what is the degree of dependency or independency between the two variables by the help of different formulas which we will be using further in the questions. Here the Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation, the first formula says this is coefficient of correlation which is equal to summation of x and y. What is x and y? X and y are the values which are given for the different two variables for which we are supposed to establish the relationship, or for which we are supposed to find out what kind of correlation, what kind of relationship they have. This is n number of values for x and y. Summation, this is sigma of x and sigma of y, that is standard deviation of series x and standard deviation of series y, where this is small x, and how this is small x is calculated as x minus x bar, where x are the values which are given to us in the question and x bar is equal to summation of x over n, and y bar is equal to summation of y over n, where we are supposed to total the values for x and total the value for y, which are written as summation of x and summation of y divided by total number of values which are given for x and total number of values that given for y, written as n. So, for this formula, your sigma x is a standard deviation of series x and sigma y is the standard deviation for series y, n is a number of observations of series x and of series y, and r is coefficient of correlation. But this formula was further simplified and we had a simplified formula as r is equal to summation of x y, this is summation of x into y, that is we are multiplying these two, and in denominator we have square root of x square minus x square multiplied by summation of y square. This x, again how we have obtained this x is x minus x bar. So, we will be studying this further, we will be using this formula instead of this formula, depends upon what kind of information is given to you in the question. We can practice any of these formulas. A simplified form of the question is, of the formula is this. So, in the next question we will be using this formula. How to use this formula? The deviation which we will be doing by the help of this formula, by the formula r is equal to summation of x y over under root of summation x square into summation y square. This formula we are supposed to take the deviations only from the actual mean and not from the assumed mean. assumed was out of any of the values which are given to us, we were supposed to assume some mean, as we have done in the case of median and mode. But here if you are talking about this formula, we are not supposed to take assumed mean, we are supposed to take only the actual mean. The above formula gives us the coefficient of correlation between plus or minus 1. That means, it gives us the value between plus and minus 1. If the answer comes out to be between minus 0.7 to plus 0.7, then we have a strong relationship between the two variables. But if the value for R lies between 0.3 to 0.7, then we have a moderate kind of relationship. But if weak correlationship exists, then the value for R is equal to either plus, lies between 0.3, minus 0.3 and plus 0.3. Depending upon these three values, depending upon the R value, we can place the R between strong correlation or moderate correlation or weak correlation, and we can find out what degree of correlation the two variables have. When R is plus 1, it means we have a perfect positive correlation between the two variables. If R is minus 1, then we can have a perfect negative correlation between the two variables, whereas if R is 0, this means there is no correlation between the two variables. The two variables are not related to one another. Moving ahead with the question, we have calculate Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation from the following data and interpret the values. Roll number is given to you. This roll number behaves as n. As in the earlier formula we were talking about here the n, this n is nothing but n is the number of roll numbers. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 students in the class for which we are supposed to find out the correlation. So, n becomes 5. Now, we are trying to find out the marks of statistics obtained by a student and the marks of accountancy by a student. Does there is any correlation between the two? Does a student who scores more in stats also scores more in accountancy, or a student who scores less in accountancy has good in stats, or a student who scores less in accountancy also scores less in stats? So, this kind of degree of dependency on one to another, or the degree of correlation between one variable and two variables, between the two variables, we will find out. So, what happens here? We have a simple formula which we have written here as summation of x y over under root of summation of x square into summation of y square. So, according to this formula only we will work in this question which is given to us. Roll number is given to us, marks of stats and marks of accounts is given to us. Marks of stat is equal to 48, 35, 17, 23, 47, whereas marks of accounts is 45, 20, 40, 25, 45. Now, from this we can see a student who is scoring 48 marks in statistics also scores 45 marks in accounts, whereas there is one student who scores 17 marks in statistics and scores 40 marks in accounts. So, there is a positive correlation, both have increased. But what about the whole class? How they have performed, that we will find out by the help of the formula which we will study. Now, what happens is, this is a table which we have made of the data which was given to us. Now, marks of stats are assumed as x, whereas marks of accounts are assumed as capital Y, which we have written here 48, 35, 17, 23 and 47. These are marks of statistics, whereas Y was given as 45, 20, 40, 25, 45, which are marks of accounts. What happens here? In the formula, we were supposed to use small x and not capital X, this small x value is found out as x minus x bar. So, I have found x bar as summation of x over n. As I have told you in the earlier slide, x bar is summation of x over n. That means, you are supposed to find out what is the total for x. Here x is equal to x 1 plus x 2 plus x 3 plus so on divided by n, it gives me x bar. So, what we are supposed to find out here? We are supposed to total summation x, that is equal to 170. When I have added 48 plus 35 plus 17 plus 23 plus 47, I will get a value as 170. Now, this 170 becomes x bar, and x is already given to me as 48, 35. When I subtract these two, that means x remains same as 48, x is 48 in first case. So, 48 minus 34, because I have found out 34 from here, putting the value of finding out the value for x bar is equal to summation of x over n, that is 170 divided by 5, we will get 34 here. Now, subtracting all the values of x from 34 will have small x. So, what happens here is, when I am subtracting 48 minus 34, I have plus 14, 35 minus 34, I have plus 1 with me, 17 minus 34, it gives me minus 17, 23 minus 34 gives me minus 11, 47 minus 34 gives me plus 13. In the formula, they were asking me summation of small x. When I have added all these values, that means I will add these two values together along with this value being added with 14 and 1, because all are positive numbers, and I will add these numbers together because they are negative numbers. I will obtain summation of small x is equal to 0. Now, in the formula they also asked us what is x square, because the formula said summation of x y whole divided by under root of summation of x square into summation of y square. This was equal to r. So, in the question I have already found out x square I found out, x I have found out. I am supposed to work more because they are asking about the x square. Since I already have the value for x, I will multiply the value for x by itself to find out different values for x square. That means, if I have x as plus 14, I will multiply, I will square it, and I will have 196 here. I will square 1 and I will have another value for x square as 1. Minus 17 into minus 17 gives me 289, minus 11 into minus 11 gives me 121, plus 13 into plus 13 gives me 169. Even if the value has minus sign, minus into minus gives me a plus value. So, minus 17 into minus 17 gives me a plus value, that is positive value, is equal to 289. If I add these all the values of x square, I have the value as 776. The question was, the formula was asking me about the summation of x square, which we have already found out. Moving ahead, there is one more variable which is y, that is the marks of accounts, which we have jotted down from the question which was given to us. Now, what next we are supposed to find out? We are supposed to find out small y. What is the value for small y? Small y is nothing but y minus y bar. From where we will get y bar? Is summation of y, which was given to us, divided by n. These values were already given to us. This will give me summation. Summation means nothing. Summation means we are supposed to add all the values and we will get the addition, we will get the sum of all the values at the end, which is given as 175. So, this gives me summation of y. If I divide this summation of y by total number of observations, the total number of observations are 5. If I divide my 175 by 5, I will have 35. So, this 35 becomes my small y. It becomes my y bar. This y bar, when I subtract this y bar from y, I will have small y, which I am supposed to obtain here. Y I have the value for 45, then y I have 20, I have 40, I have 25, I have 45, I have 5 different values for y, and for finding out each value of a small y, I am supposed to subtract 35 from each value of y observations. So, 45 minus 35 gives me plus 10, 20 minus 35 gives me minus 15, 40 minus 35 gives me 5, 25 minus 35 gives me minus 10, and 45 minus 35 gives me plus 10. The question requires summation of y square and not summation of y, but still we have added summation of small y, which is equal to 0. Adding these values, because they were plus values and there were minus values as well, so they give me the answer as 0. Finding out the further formula things, y small y we have already found out, we are supposed to find out y square. So, 10 into 10, square of 10 gives me 100, square of minus 15 gives me a positive value, that is 225, the square of 5 gives me 25, the square of minus 10 gives me minus into minus gives me plus value, that is 100, and again square of plus 10 gives me 100 value. Now, my question, my formula is asking me for summation of y square. What I am supposed to do is I am supposed to add all these values in order to get summation of y square, which is equal to 550. A simple addition we are supposed to do here, we will get the answer as 550. Now, till now we have obtained, we already had capital X value observations of x, we have capital Y observations y, which was already given in the question. From those values I found out small x by subtracting the observation value from the mean, that is x bar, by putting the formula summation of x over n already shown here. In the same manner, I have also found out the value for small y by subtracting the value of the observations of y from y bar. Y bar is nothing but the mean of y, which is obtained by summation of all the values of y divided by number of observation, that is 5, that is 175 divided by 5 is equal to 35. So, I have all the values with me, and if I put all the values into my formula which is here, I will have the answer for my coefficient of correlation. The coefficient of correlation, what does it say? It talks about putting the values here and finding out what kind of relation the variables x and variable y is having when one is the marks of statistics and the other is marks of accountancy. So, putting all the values here in the formula, we have summation of x y divided by under root of summation of x square into summation of y square. The value for here was 280. So, I have put the value as 280 here in place of summation of x y. In place of x square, we had the value of value as 776. I have put the value as 776 here, multiplied by, we had the formula which was asking me the value for summation of y square, and I had the value for 550 for summation of y square. I have put the value as 550. Now, solving it further, 280 divided by 776 into 550 under root gives me the value of 653.299. When I divide these two values, I will have 0.429. We have already discussed that the relationship between the two variables always have the value between +1 to -1. That means, correlation between two variables always lies from -1 to +1. It is very much clear from the answer of coefficient of correlation here that the value is lying between +1 and -1. So, since the value of r is positive, since it does not bear any negative sign, therefore, there is a positive relationship. We know there is a positive relationship because it is a positive value, but the value is 0.42. That means, if we go here, point when r is equal to 0.42, where does it lie? It lies between moderate correlation, that means r is lying between 0.3 to 0.7 and my value of 0.042 lies here. That means r is equal to 0.3 to 0.7 and my r is lying here 0.42. That means my correlation between the two variables, that is marks of stats and marks of accountancy, are having moderate correlationship. Therefore, the value of r is positive and hence has a direct positive correlation between the student marks obtained in statistics and accountancy. Taking another example, this was one formula, but there is one more direct method of finding out correlation by using this formula, which says correlation can also be calculated without taking deviations of item either from actual mean or assumed mean, but what we can take direct values of the which is given in the question, direct values of the two variables which are given in the question. That means, in this question we had x and y, but what we did, we found out x, small x and small y, and accordingly we have used this formula. But the next method, it talks about using the formula directly without finding out small r and small y. How to do that? This formula would give you the same answer. This formula and the earlier formula, that means this formula will give you the same answer, but what is easy for you, what you are more understanding, you can use that formula until unless it is not being specified in the question. So, what happens here is, we have coefficient of correlation r, n is the number of items as we know, x is the observations which are given for x variable, y are the observations which are given for y variable. Then if we add all the x observations, that gives me summation of x. If I add all the values, all the observations which are given for y variables, that gives me summation of y, multiplied by number of items, number of observation of x and y, or y, multiplied by summation of x square minus summation of x square whole square, and then we have n multiplied by summation of y square minus whole of summation of y square. Putting these values into the formula will give us another same answer. Let us do it how. We have a simple question here which talks about roll number from 1 to 9, marks of some subject A and marks of some subject B. When there are marks of some subject A which are 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, they are going in downward direction. Marks of subject B 15, 16, 14, 13, 11, 12, 10, 8, 9, almost the same. That means, almost the same means they are sometimes somewhere they are increasing and somewhere they are decreasing. So, what kind of correlation they have, we are supposed to find out that by putting the formula, which we will do, that is a direct formula. We have the values for x given in the question, the values for y which are also given in the question, but we are supposed to use these values directly without finding out assumed mean or without finding out the mean of x and y. How to do that? Just square this x square as required by the question, as required by the formula. They are asking you x square, they are asking you summation of y square. So, what I am supposed to do first is, I am supposed to square my x values which are given to me, 9 into 9 81, 8 into 8 64, 7 into 7 49 and so on. Since they are asking me summation means I will add all the values of my x and I will have 285 value, and along with this they are even asking me summation of my x. That means, the observations which were given to me, the values of observation are supposed to be added together to give me the summation x value, which is equal to 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 2 plus 1, which gives me 45 as the answer. I have multiplied 9 into 9, that is 81, it gives me summation of x square, that is 285. Now, y values were already given to me here, this is x and this is y. The y values were already given to me 15, 16, 14. If I add all these values here, this will give me summation of y is equal to, if I add all these values, it give me 108, and if I add all these x values, they will give me 45. Now, what else they are asking in the formula? I have already found out, summation of x, summation of y, I have already found out x square, I have already found out summation of y square, I have already found out. Now, what else I am supposed to find out is, I have also found out this, I have also found out this. Now, what else? X, y I am supposed to find out, that means summation of x, y. N I know, n is equal to 9 in the question. What else I am supposed to find out? I am supposed to just multiply the values of x and values of y in the next column. That means 9 into 15 is equal to 135, 8 into 16 128, 7 into 14 98, 6 into 13 78, 5 into 11 55, 4 into 12 48, 3 into 10 30, 2 into 8 16, 1 into 8 1 into 9 9. The question is asking me, the formula is asking me summation. What does this summation says? Summation says I am supposed to add all my values of x multiplied by y. That means, I will add all these values to get my value of summation of x y, that is 597. Putting all these values which I have obtained from this table into my formula, I have these many values which I have obtained, and if I put them into the formula, what I have now? I have r is equal to 5373 minus 4860 divided by 54 divided by under square or under root of 540 into 540. R is equal to plus of 0.95. What does this mean? What is the meaning of 0.95? That is plus relationship. Just going back, if my r is equal to 0.95, that means what kind of relationship I have? What kind of correlation I have? I have a strong correlation, because my r lies between minus 70 and it is greater than 0.70. It says a strong correlation exists when correlation between the two numbers is greater than 0.70, and my answer says r is equal to 0.95. Therefore, there is a strong correlation between the marks obtained in subject x and marks obtained in subject y. So, here we can write down that we have a strong correlation between the two variables. Now, what are the assumptions of Karl Pearson's coefficient? There are few assumptions which we work while working on Karl Pearson's coefficient. What are those assumptions? There is a linear relationship between the two variables. That means, linear means we have already studied what is a linear relationship. That means, if one is increasing, the other is also increasing, or they are going in the same direction. The same direction means we have a linear relationship. The two variables under study are affected by large number of independent causes, so as to form a normal distribution. There is a cause and effect relationship between the forces affecting the distribution of items in the series. There is one very important merit of studying Karl Pearson's coefficient, that is, it summarizes the masses into one figure. Not only the degree of correlation, but also the direction of correlation is very much given when we are talking about Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. The direction could be either positive or the direction could be either negative. Depends upon what is the answer of r, small r, that is coefficient of correlation. That is all from my side for Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Thank you.